Okay, so there's a topic, and the topic is okay, so we've been in programs since day one, right? Day one. Everything's a program. Kind of like how Matt talks about on his channel, ad nauseum. He phrases it as nothing is real, but that means the same exact thing as everything is a program. So if you divide the world up into that which is programmed and that which is not, you will be able to tangibly feel the difference between the two, because it's a big difference. It's a very big difference. I remember at one point I became so sickened of the way that this realm is that I remember saying it to my ex. I was like, I want to vomit. I need to vomit my life. I need to vomit like the buildup that has happened in this nasty toilet bowl realm, is what I was trying to say. Because the things that accumulate here are dastardly to the spirit. They are not fun. It's not conducive to living beings, period. So you gotta find the difference between that which is program or not real and that which is from your own essence. And it's important to remember that both are always happening in your bubble. When you look out to the street and you see cars going somewhere, you know that programs are happening. And you can always ask yourself, is there a way that this phenomenon I'm observing, i.e. the cars rolling down the street, is there a way that that could happen that's not programmed? There is a way, but it's unusual for it to be happening. For instance, if someone was just out for a ride for the hell of it, like, I'm gonna hop in my conveyance machine and I'm gonna convey myself from point whatever to point whatever. I'm not even gonna name the end spot or the end time, or I don't know. I don't even know why I'm in this vehicle. I'm just apparently here and I'm apparently going somewhere. And then you might see them sort of drifting from side to side because they don't really care about staying exactly in the lines. And you might see them just pull over on the side of the freeway and, you know, hop out of the car and examine some sparkly thing they saw from the freeway. Possibly. There are ways that people act when they are not entrained to machine mind. But for the most part, when you look out onto the street like I'm looking right now, I'll let you guys see what I'm seeing. This does not look like creativity for the most part. Right? This does not look like free time, free-spirited time. It looks different than that. Okay? It looks different than... It's like your mind acquires a target. It's target fascination. They talk about that with motorcyclists that are doing some, you know, are out in the backwoods careening around corners, and they get a target fascination. They see like a cliff, or they see an obstacle that they start worrying about perhaps hitting, and then they can't stop seeing the obstacle and they go right into it. And they can't pull their eyes off of it. So we have the target fascination throughout our day, okay? All day we have target fascination. Like right now, I'm fascinated with the target of getting to work, right? So I can get these magic green papers that are deemed necessary to move in this realm. Okay, so I have a target fascination. So I'm paying the amount of my mind that is focused on getting to that target means there's that much less mind or sort of attention that I have to give to the actual existing space that I'm inside of. The world disappears due to target fascination. So most of the people that you see driving down the street don't know that the world even exists. They're fully fascinated, or entranced, you could say. And people forget, okay, this is what we forget. We forget that we've never had an opportunity to actually divvy our own time up. Since birth, we've never had that opportunity. So don't be hard on yourself when you have some free time that is finally spent away from target fascination, i.e. mind programs, i.e. thinking about something in the future and trying to arrive at that point. We don't know what to do with ourselves simply because we've never seen a world where people move like that. I'm serious, we've never seen it. Even if you're at a meditation or a muji or a guru, someone who knows of the ways of the spirit, even if you're walking with Big John up in Canada, there is still target fascination, but it's just less so, okay? It's less. So there's more freedom, less mind objects. So my point being, the humans or us, we don't know what it feels like to spend a full day without mind programs running, because the mind programs are all that we know. And this is without even going into a Becky Barron and her, talk of eggs and spiders and machines and machine realms and matrices and all of this stuff. Okay, that's outside of the Russian nesting doll phenomenon that appears to be happening. Just at face value, we run on programs and we don't really know what to do with ourselves outside of them. And I'm not saying that nobody has any clue what to do when they have free time. We do know how to entertain ourselves. We know how to sort of kick back and read a book or something occasionally, maybe. I don't know for sure if a lot of people know how to do that. But we don't see people expressing freely when we're driving in this realm, when we're walking down the sidewalk. We don't see wild abandon happening. And the reason I think for that is that we're in the realm of the controlled, and controllers are trying to control free spirit. And they are controlling free spirit. They're not trying to, they are. Whoever the they are is actually doing it. Otherwise, you would see more of what you would call reckless abandon, because being free does not necessarily mean that it's making you vulnerable. Sometimes dance itself is a way of defending against an attack, as Andrea has said. But you don't see very much of that here. You see very little freedom of expression. And again, the reason for that is because everyone has been entrained into the beast mind that says blah, 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 and you do this, do that, look this way, look that way, go to work, etc. So everyone's programmed, and when you have 2 seconds of free time, you don't know what to do with it. Target fascination. And those of you who would complain about the system, it's necessary to understand that it's not easy to take a bunch of people out of a system that they are fully dependent on and tell them, go forth and do something without killing each other. It's not easy to do that. They're going to want to kill each other. They don't know they're going to want that, but that is going to come out because their way of supporting themselves is not going to be existent. They don't know how to create tools. They don't know how to make food. They don't know anything. Like, for the most part, people have lost capacity for actually connecting with the land and learning the land's ways and learning all of these things, right? So it needs to be done in small segments. You need to introduce somebody to themselves, and themselves is something that's outside of the programming. You don't say, hey, I'm going to introduce you to your true self, and then bring them to the place that they work at. You don't say, hey, I'm going to introduce you to your true self, and then bring the person to the AA group that they go to on a weekly basis. Or bring them to their holy book that makes them feel nice. Or bring them to Ancestry.com and let them look up their lineage. You don't say, I'm going to introduce you to your true self, and show them form. True self doesn't have form. You can introduce someone back to all of that after they, sort of wake up, but you don't do that at the beginning. That's enough for now. I'll probably name this one target fascination. That's what we all suffer from. And the target doesn't exist. It's a mind phenomenon which is invisible. So you don't really ever get to the target. But you think you're always on the way. You think you're going to get there pretty soon. Peace!